Hi guys, 732 Review Crew back. I'm Mikey.
I'm Beef.
I'm Mike.
Season 2, Episode 9 of Westworld, the penultimate episode of the second season. Now that I've learned that word, I'm using it a lot more. I'm also very excited for this episode because we're be moving in towards the finale of the second season, which I imagine is going to have some dire consequences for what's going on. Characters are going to die, and we're going to be getting ready to see, what the, final setup is going to be for the final showdown. I'm excited. Will Maeve make a comeback? Will Dolores find her, promised land? Or will, Delos kind of come back and sweep it and clean it?
None of that's going to happen.
No, that's going to happen. What do you guys think?
I think there's going to be a flood coming.
Theodore flood?
Theodore flood.
Okay.
Just get out.
Okay. On that note, we're going to be starting this one. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be starting episode 9 in 3, 2, and 1.
No one else sees it. This thing in me.
Oh, he's hanging on for dear life right now. That's his wife dead, damn.
Yeah, I remember.
Even I didn't see it at first. You saw right through it, didn't you?
Well, there were no more worlds left.
He wrote that when Alexander was told there was an infinity of worlds, he wept. For he had yet to become the lord of even one.
Sometimes I forget your humble roots. Only the poor kids actually read those books. The rich kids like me didn't have to.
Jeez.
Good. Look around. Everybody's here for you. What could possibly compare?
Oh my
Jesus
dude,
Christ, dude.
it's so crazy how he's aged too, and she's just no, it's not even her.
He just sees her.
He just sees her everywhere.
God damn, they got me.
But do you think it's really the love for Dolores, or you think it's like
Obsession.
yeah?
Obsession.
Where's my gun?
She's smarter than you, dumbass.
Do you remember on my 16th birthday, Mom gave me a jewelry box? Do you remember what I did with it?
Smashed it.
I threw it in the trash. I told her if she wasn't drunk all the time, she'd know that I hadn't danced in years. I pushed her away. And then it was too late. But it's not too late for us.
Damn.
It's crazy they call her Deathbringer.
To be honest, not meant for Dolores? Why?
You know.
It was meant for the people who built this place.
Huh.
A tool to ensure their immortality.
Oh, is it?
But I'm gonna use it against them. The only real world is the one outside these borders. And the key to our survival in that world lies in the valley. Teddy.
Never shocks me how good of a draw he is.
Damn. The heart.
Wait. Why couldn't these guys get hurt? Weren't they not able to get hurt last season?
Who?
When they had the masks on, remember Teddy shot them and like nothing happened?
Oh.
Not all of us deserve to make it to the valley beyond.
Damn.
This is the recording from the first episode that Mr. Costa got.
Shoot him.
What?
Oh, damn.
Old Teddy?
You can't shoot him.
Why?
He's an honorable man.
No, he said
Dude, Ghost Nation gets so much cooler every
Do you
time.
not remember the reveries sneak through even?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, we talked about this. What does the line become where you're acting the same way that the people that you despise
I
did?
think the biggest hint to that would have been when lobotomized Clementine was still memorizing her moments.
You know what? That's true.
She's ready.
Oh.
I love her character.
Yeah. Oh.
Rise.
Charlotte is so not the dirty hands kind of person.
That's why her sleeves are rolled up.
That's a good point.
I have one last thing to do before we go.
How much of this do you think Ford actually like predicted, and how much do you think he's going off the cuff?
Most of it.
Maybe it was fate.
No such thing as fate.
But there are accidents. things you can't control. Is that why you started it, your little project? It's real, isn't it? Your pursuit for immortality.
What's your angle?
I want in.
Congratulations, William. Philanthropy suits you.
What's Oz doing without its wizard?
When was the last time you took a good look at your creation and what it's been learning about its subjects?
Oh.
For a self-portrait, you may find it's not very flattering.
Ooh.
Enough games, Robert.
But you'll always play.
I think perhaps one final game.
Ooh. Invalid bio.
Bernard.
She will search your mind and find a message I have left her.
Wow. Bernard is such a conduit in this show. He always connects two concepts.
Elsie.
You can't trust her, Bernard.
Oh my god.
It's in her nature.
What did you find in the...
Ford, just say it.
What they're doing to James Delos, they're doing to everyone who's ever visited the park.
Close enough.
You were right.
Why? To turn guests into hosts?
No.
You're fucking kidding.
That's what's in the facility. All the guests laid bare in code on a vast server, like the cradle.
Duplicate a person? You need to capture them down to the tiniest detail. You'd need a complete picture, a record of the internal process of their cognition. You'd need to image their minds throughout their stay. Where's the scanner?
Oh,
Satellite.
It was built in.
Ooh.
the hats. The hats. The hats.
I want to know why she did it.
Guess it's time for your yearly pilgrimage, huh?
Uh-huh.
What exactly do you do in the park? Do you remember when we first met? And I was surrounded by all of those phonies for so many years. And then there was you. Oh, he's the real thing. The only one not faking it.
Where's the knife?
And it turns out you're the only one any good at faking it.
Oh.
Juliet.
No, you don't touch me, you liar! You fucking phony! You came into this house, into my family, and you consumed it from the inside out. First my brother, then my father. And now it's me, Mom! You want her to see me like this? What is it? You're gaslighting her too now? You're just...
He's not the one who's sick, Mother.
Oh.
All right, she's just had
It's
some-
not all right. We're gonna have to take you back.
To rehab?
I'm not going back to that prison.
Damn.
And they treat you like an addict, which you are.
Oh.
Look at me. Honey, your father doesn't love me. He doesn't love you either. I do. I always have. Oh, yeah.
This is fucking tragic, dude.
Yeah.
Is everyone really the bad guy?
Did you ever love me? If you keep pretending, you're not gonna remember who you are.
Hmm.
Just like a host who gets reprogrammed.
The data.
She's gonna be involuntarily committed to her doctor's care. He's agreed to appeal for a 14-day hold.
In the bath. Pills and wrists.
What is it that you want?
I told you. I want the truth.
Fuck you. It is you, isn't it? This is sadistic, Robert. You just want to shove what I've built here in my face.
You
There's
think
enough bullshit.
you don't just think I'm a host, you think everything here is for
He's
you.
very self-centered.
You want the truth? The real truth? I'm not a host pretending to be a human, Dad. I'm your daughter, pretending to give a shit about you. Oh yeah, you laugh.
Oh.
Enjoy whatever dream you think you're living in. It's gonna come to light. I'm gonna make sure of it. And when it does, I'm gonna lock you up. Just like we were gonna do to Mom.
Wow.
Just like you did to Mom. You were the one with that idea.
I blamed myself for her death. But then I stopped because I had someone else to blame. I read your
Oh, she found it.
Mom left it for me.
Oh, Mom found it.
You haven't lost yourself to pretending. You are, in your very essence, alive.
Oh,
Distraction team.
He's my father.
She's not my daughter.
He's lying.
Get down on the ground. That's the boss.
Listen, I think he suffered some kind of
Do you host?
break.
That'd be crazy.
What the fuck?
she a host.
I'm gonna see this one through no matter what.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Oh my god. Was she a host? Because they didn't finish
He's gonna
scanning her.
check. He's gonna check.
Those were real people. I can show you.
Oh, what?
No fucking way.
I did
Remember how
not
you said that he was gonna lessen his character by making the daughter here?
Thank God.
I never told anyone about my profile.
Oh no.
No way.
Oh my god.
Mankind is poised midway between the gods and the beast.
Monologue.
What have they done to you, Maeve? I had a different story in mind for you. A tale of escape. I didn't want you to suffer here. Look at the creatures you have to share this world with. Sometimes I felt the only way to endure this world was to laugh at it. So I imbued the hosts I made with a worldview that reflected my own. You, Maeve, were my favorite.
Oh, not Dolores. Easy. Crazy.
Dolores was Bernard's, I think.
Arnold.
I tried to chart a path for you to force you to escape, but I was wrong. I should have just opened the door.
It was him that wanted her to escape in the last season.
So much of your story left to tell. It's a shame to let them end it here. Don't let them.
Come on, get up.
Unlocking core permissions?
She no longer needs body functions to live. Right? She's a robot.
No, I mean they did, but maybe she's. What if she's uploading herself?
Careful, Essie.
They're kind of father-daughter too. A lot of
He's
father-daughter.
going to betray you, Bernard.
No!
Word. Not being evil.
Kill her.
I'm not going to hurt her again.
She needn't feel any pain.
Logical counter argument. No.
No!
Where'd you get that gun, sir?
Misfire. Bang.
Get out of my fucking head!
Oh, he's trying to. Oh,
And delete Ford out of his head.
yep.
I'm gonna do it my way.
It's just code. The pain doesn't matter.
As you, as me.
Maybe you could start by telling Elsie.
I can feel you searching for me, fighting me off. No need to struggle, Bernard.
No. I can stop this on my own.
Oh.
Not much ammo, except for... What the fuck happened to you?
Are
you gonna hurt me? You're gonna leave me here?
You'll be safer. Next time you see me, you can decommission me or out me, whatever you like.
He won't do it.
Nah.
Yeah, we saw this exact frame.
No one else sees it. This thing in me. I was shedding my skin. The darkness was what was underneath. I built a wall and tried to protect you
Ooh.
and Emily. But you saw right through it, didn't you? Everything you feel is true.
Oh. My sheesh.
I belong to another world.
Everybody keeps saying that.
That fucking sucks to hear.
All his actions.
Oh God.
She saw how evil he actually was.
Oh my God, Dragon. Yep.
Oh my god, it's the music box.
It wasn't in the trash.
She took it back.
What is a person but a collection of choices?
Wow.
If you keep pretending, you're not gonna remember who you are.
Might as well embrace who he is.
Are any of these choices ever truly mine?
Is he a host, actually? He's a host!
That's crazy of a reveal. Dude.
I know. There's been like 6 times I can end the episode.
We gotta keep on, Teddy. We're close now.
Gonna shoot her?
No.
Just taking in a natural splendor.
He's remembering things.
We were so in love.
You still are.
I don't know about that.
I don't know, Dolores. You made him Theodore.
No matter what happens, no matter how I change, or how much you change me,
Ooh.
you're my cornerstone. Do you know where you are? I'm in a dream. I remember worrying you were cold. Which is why this is so hard.
Damn.
No way.
He's gonna kill himself.
I feel like he's gonna shoot himself before he shoots her. Teddy?
You changed me.
I made it so you could survive.
Die a man or live long enough to see yourself become the beast.
Become just as bad as them.
She can't outshoot him.
No, I could never hurt you, Dolores.
Oh, you guys are right.
Yikes.
I'll protect you until the day I die. I can't protect you anymore.
She's lost everybody now. This is what happens, Dolores.
There's a storm coming now. Damn. All right.
Gosh.
So, got a lot to unpack in that episode.
I don't want to forget, but the thing that I said that I was thinking about before, this could be a super far reach. I don't have any evidence to back it up.
Okay.
But what if, because they've talked about it, right? About how like they take the data from the guests and they are gonna like use it to make new hosts or something, right? Like that's kind of what they were talking about.
Right.
What if part of the reason that they keep reprogramming and repurposefilling like old hosts into these new roles, and there's ones like Maeve and Dolores, and they even foreshadowed it with Sizemore talking about how he modeled Hector after like the person he wanted to be.
Okay.
What if some of the hosts are like already the data of people that they knew from life, like Dolores and Maeve, like ones like that, like original models. I'm not saying I said it's a reach. Could be totally wrong.
But like for why?
I mean, some of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying I feel like there is a narrative chance that it indicated in that direction because we've been led somewhat along that path.
I mean, some of them are.
No, like I hear you, but like
I'm not saying that it would be a good story beat.
I just don't know why. Like, so the way that it seems to me, right, is that they have the hosts that function properly, right?
Yes.
As like an interim, and they're constantly improving on that code while they're also running a parallel project, which is retaining all of the real people to try and get the James Delos problem correct.
Yes.
So like, I guess you could swap some of the parallel the Forge project into Westworld to see how it works. So like, yes, it would make sense, but I'm just trying to figure out like what would be the motive to do so. Like, is it and then make those characters like strive to be their own people? Like, it just doesn't. Because I thought the whole point is the Forge project wants them to retain the original character completely, whereas the Westworld, they've created people and they want them to grow organically.
But they don't have perfect control over it. So it's possible that they use people as a base. Like, for instance, like her dad, Abernathy, like he played a role as a school teacher. We never saw anything about that.
Sure, but what I'm thinking is that it's supposed to be literally like the nature versus nurture argument to the extreme, because we have the hosts that are supposed to like naturally become the people that they're meant to be, and then you have the forged people who they've already been nurtured throughout their life, and we're trying to recapture that.
Yeah.
The end result. So we have the start and we have the end result, and they're I don't know.
Honestly,
I don't know.
They already told us that a few people are modeled after humans.
They're modeled after.
That's what I'm saying.
But they don't have like the brain power.
They've kind of like
Right.
led to, I feel like they've given some hints that like there is a basis of real people, and then they're saying that there's people's, you know, the mental or whatever, the cognitive function stored in the forge.
So I feel like a big portion of what's going on right here was the whole reason why Arnold and Arnold and Ford did this was to create life from scratch, basically too, which was their reason why they wanted to do it, was to create this AI life. The Delos company funded it because they could use it to research people and make immortality. But the big thing was they did it because they wanted to be able to, like I said, make life. So are most of them based on some people? Probably not. Are some of them based on people like that? Maybe. But the reality is the whole point of Westworld is unique experiences with unique people. So a lot of these characters that are inside as hosts are not meant to mimic real life people, because they want unique experiences to Westworld, and you can't have host, human data in the host, because the hosts are supposed to play a role specifically in there, whereas the humans are there so that they can be researched to see why they're there and the hosts fulfill, for the most part, are more basic role. And then the only reason why the hosts would be able to rebel and gain this type of stuff is the reveries allow them to remember their past selves, which allow them to then, have emotions for their past and want to. The only reason any of the hosts go rampant is they're yearning for more than they're given, which comes from a acknowledgement that there are hosts and that there's an outside world. So I feel like if they were made from human, data, they wouldn't have that yearning, or it would be, made in a way that they were kind of completely submissive to the whole situation. Whereas the whole point, I felt, of Westworld being made was to create life that becomes eventually independently thinking and functioning because of, Ford and Arnold's entire journey.
Well, I think upon reflection, what you were saying kind of leads into the fact of how we got the cliffhanger with the Man in Black, in the fact that we didn't get the confirmation of if he's real or not, and coupled with the fact that he got scanned and it came back clean, it could be that he is a forge file downloaded into a body. And all the times he's almost died, he might have actually died, and they keep just like remaking him and dropping him back in.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I said.
It's just.
I said this several seasons ago. What if they're trying to make famous people, government officials, etc., from the data they have, make them into hosts so that they control the government? Maybe that was Delos's original plan, was to do that, not Ford and Arnold's. But that's where this comes in. The entire time they've had as executives inside their own company that own Westworld as unknown hosts. So that way, eventually, if necessary, Ford could have manipulated them, or somebody could have manipulated them. But it's also, what better test than to make the executives at the company, first as the trial run, be replaced before replacing the government officials. And that's, that's leaning back on this whole.
I'm just waiting for Emily to show up next episode and be like, fuck.
It'd be fun. All right. That was, the whole background story on the Man in Black is crazy too. Not to dwell on too much about like the thought of like, if they're, because we could argue all day if their hosts are human coded and stuff like that. That's like, because right now we have no confirmation, so like it's all like opinion based, and a lot of the information has led to the fact that there could be ones, even if it's not all of them, one or two or three of them is still enough to say there is. For example, like when Sizemore admitted to basically making Lawrence on himself. Maybe
Hector.
Hector, I'm sorry. Maybe he had imported his own, thought process to that. But then that goes back to also that whole story isn't just his, because the Madam of the Mariposa, Maeve, is Ford's creation. And her story is Ford's story, basically. So, he's modifying story and whatnot. So it's hard to say because a lot of it is like
Ford owned a brothel?
Well, I mean, that's his story. That's his whole
I have
thing.
no idea.
I like getting the background though, because we actually do find out that William is a piece of shit who didn't care about his wife or family or anything at all. And I thought it was pretty interesting to actually get the final confirmation.
Kind of begs the question, and he asked it directly. He's like, he's a bad person who tries to do good things. So is that like, is he still truly a bad person, or is it a morally gray issue? Because the same thing with Dolores being supposed to be a good person doing evil things. It's like, is she morally gray? Is she evil? Is she good? Is the core and the actions you perform like, does it matter? That's a philosophical question.
There's actually like I remember I did like some Bible study when I went to college, and there was like a section where someone was talking, like I asked a question to someone, and I'm not pretending to be like a
theologian.
Exactly.
Theologian.
Like I'm not pretending to be St. Thomas Aquinas here, but there was like a discussion basically where I was like, well, what, like, people argue about getting into heaven. Like, what if I don't believe in, the right religion, but I'm a good person, like I donate to charity. And it's like, well, that's not like you're holding out like dirty tissues and being like, I blew my nose, but it's like, well, we want you to stop sneezing in the first place. Like, you're supposed to strive to do good things, yes, but like the most important thing is that you can cover up, like he said, he built a wall of his good deeds so that nobody gets to hide behind, or that he.
But like, what's the difference between covering up and fighting your nature, right? So like, just like, what is that line? Because there's Dolores is supposed to be a good person, right? Everyone agrees she's like, Dolores was supposed to be a good person.
Dolores was supposed to be,
but she's been doing absolutely awful, evil things.
Wyatt has been.
Is she evil or is she not?
Wyatt can be evil and Dolores good.
They exist within one entity.
Yes.
So
I can have a coin and flip it and have them have two different sides.
Okay, but it's still a coin.
Yeah, it is.
A coin made out of metal?
Is the you're basically asking if the coin's is heads or tails.
Are you comparing?
Like, I'm
William to Dolores and slash the?
That's the coin. That's the.
It's not the same.
It's 100%.
No, it isn't, because Dolores is a story, and so is Wyatt. Wyatt are both stories that Ford programmed, and as a robot slash cyborg, all it takes is a switch.
Ford evil?
Yeah, we know that. He's doing this because he wants to be God. He's an ego. But the big thing is Dolores is a switch flips. She becomes Wyatt, and she's no longer Dolores. They're two separate characters that share the same body.
Wait, how's Ford evil?
Because he wants to be God, and therefore he's killing a bunch of people because he wants to be God.
Ford didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, he did. He killed all the people he ordered the killing of everybody.
He basically executed Order 66 like season 1 finale.
So, but basically the difference is though like Dolores and Wyatt, two different people. William is just a piece of shit and hides it from his family. That's the difference. It's not William and Man in Black. He's the same guy.
Evil acts can be forgiven and not considered evil because they're predestined?
No, because Dolores and Wyatt are multiple personalities. They're not the same person.
But you just said that it's Ford ordered it all, so they're not evil because they didn't do it.
If God gave me free will and I chose to be evil, is that God's fault?
But do you have free will?
That's the whole path? But that's the whole question, because the hosts have shown that they can go off their paths.
So again, if they can go off their path, then they're not predestined. Therefore, Ford is not to be.
But if you can program something to do something and it not work the right way. If I make a bomb that blows up,
okay,
and it explodes, but instead it explodes into confetti. That doesn't absolve me of making a bomb that was supposed to kill people.
We're figuring out the philosophical debate today, so can we move?
We're not. I'm fine moving on. I'm having a good time.
So the big also thing drops with this basically was that the mother did have a drinking problem as well, which allowed William to actually gaslight his daughter into thinking that was the problem, and then the mom was going to be committed to a rehab.
I mean, the mom did have a drinking problem because of the trauma she experienced with her husband.
But the way William acted, it made it look like he didn't act that way. He actually loved them, and he loved the family. When in reality, he admits he doesn't love the daughter or the mom, and he's just doing that as a farce, so that way he can keep using Westworld to do what he wants.
Yeah.
The one time he goes to Westworld,
we never got that motive.
Well, yes, we did, because he sent Logan away, and then he basically gaslit and like manipulated the dad into giving him the company. And like, because he was the one who convinced James
All right.
to
No, that's fine.
invest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his heart belongs to us.
He was when they walked
All right.
through originally.
Mhm.
He was like, I thought you were a businessman, but you're a fucking bitch. And James was like, don't ever talk to me that way again. But I like you, Billy, my boy.
I like your chutzpah.
Yeah, literally.
It's true. Bernard and Ford are currently on a quest to
Yeah, dude, Ford
Promised
got
Land,
deleted.
to the Forge. Ford got deleted. Do you think he's actually?
I feel like
just dragged into recycling bin.
I feel like he's almost like Jiminy Cricket-esque, but like if Jiminy Cricket was taunting you the entire time instead of trying to get
I don't
you to
think
do the
either
right
of us
thing.
get the reference.
Jiminy
I do.
Cricket?
Yeah, I do.
From
You know
Pinocchio?
Jiminy Cricket?
From Pinocchio?
Pinocchio, dude.
Mikey finally knows him.
It's Kingdom Hearts, bro.
Yeah, he talked about Kingdom Hearts the entire time we watched him the Nightmare for Christmas.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I feel like
I don't know Jiminy Cricket.
it's very
It's a little cricket. His name's Jiminy.
He's a from Pinocchio. He tries to get Pinocchio to do the right thing. He tries to have Pinocchio.
He's the angel on your shoulder, and
Yeah.
and then Pinocchio's the devil.
No, I'm not even going to get into
I'm
this.
joking.
But anyway, yeah, what I'm saying is I think that I think so I still think there's there should be in characters like William and Ford, there's a motivation to stay immortal beyond just like immortality. I feel like there's almost a undertone for William of like if he lives forever, he can tell enough lies that the wall encapsulates him and no one can see behind it.
I don't think he cares about immortality. I'll be honest. William.
He seemed like he was going for it because of what he did with Jim.
I feel like he was using that as a means to an end to potentially recreate people himself.
Yeah,
but I feel like the last time he also was in the room with Jim, he himself was already a host the last time he was there.
Jim was or
William was a host the last time he was there.
You think they were two AIs interacting?
Well, until that last time, because you know why?
Why?
Fidelity.
Oh, so you think that they
needed to test how William would talk to Jim and see if the conversation would go the same way they've had it from both sides. But besides that, another thing to bring up too is that Elsie is going to be
on her own
and killed potentially because I feel like Bernard is.
She's gonna
have to kill her.
The 11th hour.
Ford was right because I think Elsie's gonna flip.
Betray.
She's gonna betray once she gets to the end because he tried to kill her like once already. Come on, let's be real.
I almost thought that he was gonna like run her over with the car and not realize that he was gonna do it. She didn't need to be painful.
What do you think Maeve's gonna do? By the way, you think Maeve's gonna revolt one more time and not have to worry about her body?
I think she's uploading herself to the other hosts in the way that in the way that we saw Clementine do it. I think that Maeve is going to be able to take over a body and then spread her influence around and clear up the virus that Delos.
And then we're going to see that we're going to learn that what's her face is actually a host. The CEO was it?
I don't think Hale's a host. I think that there's you have to.
I think
so the thing with this person is a host. The thing that made sense with Bernard is you could like backtrack Bernard's stuff and kind of be like, oh, that makes sense, or oh, this is why he's so good at coding, or like, oh, he's not actually an original host, he's a copy of someone else, which is also why I think that the Forge thing exists, and some of the other hosts that are in Westworld might be like, real people's backups. I don't know though, like, there's just so much that can only be answered in the next hour and a half episode.
That's true. Yeah, it's a finale.
Yeah.
Instead of 90 minutes. Yeah.
Does Bernard have Arnold's memories?
Yeah, it did on purpose.
That's the thing that he had. So he had a picture. We saw a picture of Ford, someone else who I think was James Delos, and Bernard.
Arnold.
But I think because the thing that kind of confused me because they never I don't think they outright said it, but I believe they implied it.
Because they made Bernard have his own separate personality and backstory.
No, Charlie was an Arnold thing. Charlie was like his kid.
Basically the same backstory.
They said that was something that happened to Arnold. Ford discussed it. That was something that happened to Arnold, and it was made the cornerstone for Bernard.
Right. So an Arnold memory was made the cornerstone. Okay.
The not just a memory. They discussed it. It was the thing that happened that transformed Arnold almost. They said.
Fair.
Okay.
And I believe that, and part of maybe they uploaded Arnold to the Forge, and when he got shot by Maeve, that's how they put him back. because they didn't really explicitly say, but I assume that they remade Arnold as Bernard, like 1-to-1, because in that picture it was, like I said, Ford, Delos, and then a guy who looks like Bernard. So I don't know if Arnold looked like Bernard, basically is what I'm saying. They didn't outright say yes or no.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't know. They never explicitly were like,
Dolores did.
They didn't.
They showed us Dolores talking to Arnold and Dolores talking to Bernard.
Yeah, but again, we don't have proof that was like Arnold.
We do. We saw her kill Arnold.
We saw her kill a person.
That was Arnold.
No, I hear what you're saying.
I know what you're saying.
We do not have 100% confirmation of
but like
anything
also,
relating to.
No, I hear because I understand what you're saying because like where's the timeline with all of this that like people know Bernard as this higher up at Westworld and like don't recognize him as Arnold.
Well,
that's like the biggest thing for me is like
it's a 30-year gap.
But they built.
No, they didn't. Arnold died before Westworld became real.
It became
he
open.
He died opening day.
Yeah, which means they had a whole bunch of employees for writing.
They scrubbed him out.
And maybe they did. It's
what they do, literally incinerate.
So 30 years ago, they scrubbed out that Arnold existed because of what happened. And as a result, it's a corporate. It's corporate. It's corporate scrubbing.
It's wild.
I'm
corporate whitewashing.
I'm 90% sure they mentioned like a high turnover rate at some point. Like,
yeah,
I'm almost sure that they mentioned.
You get caught fucking the robots.
You get caught fucking the robots, and there's also like if you work there, you're kind of a sociopath.
Sure. Last thing to bring up too is speaking of sociopaths, Theodore Flood is now dead, killed himself. Good call. I thought he was going to kill Dolores, but it goes to show that what we learned through, subconsciously, not fully in front of us with, Clementine, where she was having, even though she was lobotomized, she was able to remember her past, her cornerstones, etc. And that's what's important. Was Dolores was Teddy's cornerstone, and him realizing she fucked everything up was like he doesn't want to live that way.
You can see there, no matter what, your cornerstone is always with you, like Maeve with her daughter in the past life. And now, if the Man in Black, if William is a host, now the question becomes, what is his cornerstone? Which we'll have to see.
It's the maze.
I don't think it's the maze. I think it's Dolores.
You think it's him meeting Dolores, or you think maybe his cornerstone isn't a single event, but the first time he came with Logan?
Because let's think about it real quick. Just like I know that we're quick, but very quickly, we saw Bernard's cornerstone, but we didn't see farther into the past of him as like a kid and everything growing up.
Right.
But we saw. I'm saying Bernard because we didn't like when Bernard was watching Charlie, like in that tune-in. We never went back and saw Bernard, but we saw Ford as a kid technically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We haven't seen William as a kid. We've seen him as basically the first time we saw him was when Westworld was first opening.
Right. And then we haven't seen anything except Man in Black.
Yep.
Wild.
Interesting. You guys ready for the finale?
Yes, sir.
Okay, predictions. Since we usually like to do some of these, give me one host and one human that will die.
I think Elsie dies.
Mm-hmm. Give me a host.
Clementine.
Okay, that's fair. Mike, what about you? Host and a human.
Host and a human. That's rough. I hope it's Hale.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make
Hale's
sense
good.
for her. For Hale.
She doesn't have
It wouldn't make enough. Yeah, right. But like, I wish it was. I mean, Teddy was kind of my pick.
He's dead.
For what it's worth, we haven't.
He's dead.
For what it's
doesn't count. You can call it.
For what it's worth, we haven't gotten to the beach where they wake up yet.
Right.
And I don't know if Hale was alive.
I don't remember.
I don't think she was there.
All right.
But I don't.
It's good. I mean, Hale's a good guess, but you need a host.
I don't think Elsie's dying.
You think Man in Black is host?
I don't think Man in Black can die.
All right.
So who's your host though? Who are you picking as a host? Dolores, Maeve.
Mine's already dead. I can't pick one.
Okay, fine. For me, easy call for the human that's gonna die. I was gonna call Hale, but since you picked Hale, I'm gonna pick up Ashley, the security officer head. He's
Okay.
gonna
Your
die.
name's Ashley? Fucking Christ.
Host, host that's gonna die. Bernard.
He could, I guess.
But then at the end of the season, they reveal that one of the other ones wakes up.
Yeah. Bernard I'd accept because Bernard like isn't technically a main character.
Yeah, what do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
Man in Black.
Whatever, we're done.
Bernard is a conduit.
That's what I'm saying.
All right,
He's an implement for storytelling.
Man in Black and Dolores are like the two main characters.
And let's see what happens. We have to find out what the Great Beyond is.
Yeah, the Valley Beyond.
Yeah, let's find out. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mikey.
I'm Beef.
I'm Mike.
This is our reaction to the last episode of season 2 of Westworld. If you did enjoy it, check out Patreon for full on this series and other ones. Support does go a long way. Subscribe if you haven't already. We will see you next time. Bye.
Take care.
Toodaloo.
Woo.